So welcome back to another video today. As you probably already know, DICE has given us the chance to play Final Stand, the pre-release version, of course, a little bit early, well actually quite a bit early from when it's meant to be actually released, which is, I presume, late September, early October. Of course, I could be totally wrong, don't quote me on that, but I wanted to give my brief opinion on the maps, the weapons, the kind of things I've tried in Final Stand so far, because once it's actually released, then I can do a more in-depth kind of talk about Final Stand, because then I'll have a bit more time to actually find the railgun and use it. With that said though, I have used the railgun, I think for about 30 seconds, shot a helicopter, didn't do any damage to it, shot a tank, didn't do any damage to it, and then killed myself. I'm not sure how it's possible to kill yourself with a railgun, but I managed it. Nonetheless, the maps. Now, the maps that I've played are Giants of Corellia, Hammerhead, and Hangar 21. Unfortunately, I was a bit too late to the party to play Operation Whiteout, which is kind of unfortunate, but I can't really do anything about it. Giants of Corellia, now that map is awesome, even though the layout itself with mountains, very few buildings, very few cover, sniper prominent map. We've all seen it in Battlefield 4 before, but it's nothing really too different from most of the maps we've already seen in Battlefield 4 already. So it's nothing too special, but I really enjoy it, mainly because it reminds me of Endgame from Battlefield 3. Most of the maps in Endgame, they weren't really too special. They weren't really anything too different from the standard Battlefield 3 maps, but they were incredible nonetheless. Now, Hangar 21. Hangar 21 has to be one of my favourite maps so far in Battlefield 4. Even though it isn't actually out yet, it's incredible. Once you actually enter the hangar itself, where the giant ship itself is, it's incredible. For two reasons. One reason, the atmosphere in the hangar is immense. You get this ear-thumping noise that I've no idea where it's coming from. I presume it's the fans at the top, but I literally have no idea. Nonetheless, this atmosphere creates what I find a level of tension and awesomeness. I don't really know why, but I just really enjoyed that. The next thing was, of course, the what I like to call the Levolution event. I'm not really sure if it's meant to be, or if it's just kind of a thing you can do, but I presume it's the Levolution event because you press a button and the afterburners on the ship, which is stationary by the way, just rocket up and fire straight down to the ground. Now, I was playing the Capture the Flag version of Hangar 21, and what usually happens when you turn the afterburners on, they go straight through the floor, straight through this tunnel, and out through the end of the tunnel. Of course, releasing onto the map, releasing a huge smoke cloud, which is really cool. Now, last but not least is, of course, Hammerhead. Now, I think I've said in the past that Hammerhead could be an Alborz Mountain remake kind of thing, mainly because it looked like Alborz Mountains in the trailer. I think quite a few people thought it was going to be Alborz Mountains in Battlefield 4. Unfortunately, that's not quite the case. It is similar. I mean, it has mountains, it has snow, it has a frozen lake. I'm not really sure if the idea is inspired off Alborz Mountains, but I can't really be sure. Nonetheless, this map is really cool, because it's the first map I got to try the hover tanks on, and of course the snowmobiles. Now, both of those vehicles are incredible. I've been saying that a lot throughout this video, but everything throughout Final Stand is going to be absolutely awesome. The railgun, the snowmobiles, the hover tanks, the maps, the MKV, which I think is called the XD1 something or other. I've forgotten the name, but this thing, even though I don't know how to fly it, but if I put a clip on screen so you can see this thing in action. Now, bear in mind, I didn't actually kill anybody. I came close, and of course, as we already know, coming close in Battlefield 4 doesn't quite cut it. But what I thought you had to do was place it on a flat surface and it would kind of take off like the SUAV. But it didn't happen. It just kind of took off like a helicopter and I got shot for standing out in the open. So I kind of got what I deserved. But in the right hands, which definitely isn't mine, you can definitely do some damage against vehicles, against infantry. I just have to learn how to fly kind of in a forwards direction. I kind of keep going up and up and up, which doesn't really help me at all. I suppose I can try and kill helicopters, but I don't know how to come back down either. Nonetheless, recently we've just got access to the Capture the Flag version of Hangar 21. Now, this basically shortens the map to just the hangar portion of the map itself. I'm not really a big fan of Capture the Flag. I haven't really played it too much in Battlefield 4. I have to be honest. I just don't really find it that interesting. I'm not really sure why, because it works really well on the Final Stand maps, of course, Hangar 21, but I presume over the week to come they'll possibly release the other maps all in turn, one by one, with Capture the Flag, maybe a different game mode, but I presume it would be Capture the Flag. Now, last but not least, I wanted to talk about the railgun. Yes, the railgun. Now, I did have a small playtime, as I told you earlier, but I ended up killing myself. Again, I have still no idea how, I just can't figure that one out. But the railgun is incredible. It's the god gun, the almighty overlord, whatever you want to call it. This thing is devastating. You can obliterate tanks with enough shots. You can decimate helicopters. You can do some serious damage to infantry. Shoot somebody in the leg, they're going to the hospital. Well, actually, they probably won't make it because they've only got one leg. But you can do some massive damage with this thing. Of course, it's one shot, one kill, then you have to reload. I think that's quite good, because probably a railgun would be one shot, reload, kind of like a musket, if you will. But it's not really a long process to reload the weapon. If you've ever played Call of Duty Zombies, use the ray gun. You flick the barrel open, take out the old magazine, put in the new one, and that's pretty much it. The scope itself does have a very nice zoom with some very awesome blue reticules. That's really cool. You also have this very nifty blue laser sight on the top. Not really sure what that's there for. Your guess is as good as mine. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I can say about Final Stand so far, about the railgun, because most of it might change approaching the full launch, because this is only a pre-release, maybe an alpha, maybe a beta version of the maps, because they're still work in progress. Nonetheless, I'm looking forward to Final Stand immensely. It's going to be awesome. The maps are going to be incredible, and after playing it for the first time on the CTE, I didn't play Dragon's Teeth on the CTE, so I kind of missed out on that, but I definitely have something to look forward to. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time.